Hello everybody, this is Analytical Survival and welcome to a three-part series interview with noted YouTube guest CampfireTalk. Today we'll be talking about fitness, a subject that perhaps is sorely missing in the prepper community. CampfireTalk is an avid runner and has competed in many types of endurance events over the years. And in addition to being a wonderful father to two lovely girls and one boy, he still finds the time to work out on a regular basis. Today he's going to share some of his wisdom with the audience and some practical ways that we can all take better care of our health. Mr. CampfireTalk, welcome to the Analytical Survival channel.
Thank you, sir, and it's great to be on. I've been a subscriber to your channel for several years now, and it's kind of an honor for me to be on the Analytical Survival show.
Oh, brother, the pleasure is all mine. I've been a great fan of your channel, I think back since 2009, and it's great to see that both of us are still here. And let me start out by saying that being a prepper is a calling, so to speak, and to achieve a state of readiness. And it's been my conviction that this should also include our bodies. So we might begin here by letting you tell us about your personal journey of achieving physical fitness.
Sure. Well, a few years back, I was out on a backpacking trip with some friends. And at that time, I wasn't exercising. I was only maybe going backpacking, 2 to 3 times a year. So it was just very sparse as far as getting in high levels of activity. And on this trip, I wasn't pulling my weight as well as I would like. I was falling behind. I was causing the group to slow down. So this was kind of a wake-up call for me that I needed to get better in this area. This same group of guys, good friends of mine, were active runners. They asked me to do a Ragnar relay run with them, and kind of twisted my arm. I wasn't real sure what it was, and what it is it's a 200-mile relay from one city to the other. You're on a 12-person team. So it gave me a goal, something to shoot for, to train for this, and this was something that really kind of helped get me off the couch, to get me out there training my body, getting stronger, losing a little bit of weight in the process, and doing that run was a milestone of sorts. It was a wake-up call, something that I could do if I really put my mind to it, and so it was a great experience to kind of go from that. And also, backpacking trips now are much easier. They're more exciting. I can push myself on tougher trips as well.
And that's something that I actually witnessed with your last video. That was awesome with your daughter.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and it was great because I could load my stuff down a little bit heavier so I could bring some comforts for her to help give her a better trip and something that she would remember hopefully for the rest of her life.
Oh man, that's the sweet stuff. I think maybe some listeners might be interested in hearing what sorts of challenges, real challenges that you may have encountered along the way. And even better than that, how did you actually overcome them?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind on challenges was there's a lot of great things about running, being that you don't have to join a gym to do it. There's really no startup cost. You do need a good pair of shoes. There's a lot of debate on what kind of shoes are right for the person, but I would just suggest you go. We'll get into that later on, probably in another part. As far as challenges, just getting out there and starting a program or starting that habit of exercise, especially going from no exercise in your life or very little to a routine of exercise. It's creating a new habit, and I'm resistant to change, and especially change that is uncomfortable. And it is not fun to run. It just is not. It hurts. Your body's screaming at you the whole time. But when you're done with it, it's very good, and you did it, and you can't take that away from you. And you are getting stronger in the process.
What comes to mind for me a lot is that with the high incidence of things like obesity and diabetes in our societies, along with the food choices that are available to us, because a lot of times they're not the best, it's really almost an imperative to work out in order to just tip the balance in our favor, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say because a lot of us, myself included, were just not born with the perfect set of genes. And I was actually born with very bad asthma as a child. I had very bad allergies. It limited what I could and could not do. Also, my father-in-law, he's at an age currently where he is on the fence with type 2 diabetes, and he's trying to curb it in his favor without medication and to get himself eating better foods, losing some weight, where he's not going to struggle with this. With things like heart disease or obesity, like that you mentioned earlier, it's these are things that we can curb in our favor with either food choices or some level of exercise. And you don't have to go out and conquer the world, but just step-by-step progress in these areas. Don't think of it as a diet or some type of temporary short step, but you have to think long-term with this.
I'd like to know personally what for you has been an unexpected benefit of working out. What I mean by that is working out is not only physically beneficial. It also helps us psychologically and mentally wise and to think better. And in so many other ways, what has been an unexpected benefit for you?
I would say the physical benefits are probably obvious. You're going to lose weight. You're going to get stronger. You're going to get more aware of what your body can and can't do. You can kind of push those limits. The mental aspect would be it creates a more mentally tough person. And what I mean by that is when I'm on runs, especially long runs, you've got this voice inside of you telling you to stop, quit, let's just stop here. And you really need to push through that. You need to ignore that. And developing that habit over time will make you more mentally tough, and not just in exercise, but that will benefit you in a lot of areas in life to give you that confidence and that strength, that inner strength.
Amen to that. Is it possible for you to share with us some of your own personal workout routine? What does it entail and how you go about it?
Okay. Well, first off, I do not work out every day. My biggest hurdle would be time. And what I'll do is I will try to run 3 to 4 times a week, and I'll go usually in the evenings because that time of day works best for me. Once the kids are in bed, I will go out for a run. It's going to be dependent on an individual's schedule for when it's going to be good for them. But for me, I run 3 to 4 times a week. I'll also do some yoga to stretch out my legs and back. I will do that maybe 2 to 3 times a month. And that's really, in a nutshell, what I do. As far as strength training, I'll do push-ups, planks, and do a lot of core work. Most of the time with my own body resistance. So I'm not using a lot of weights there. And that is a general overview of what my workout routines look like, just in a basic nutshell.
It sounds like a complete routine. I was wondering if you could possibly squeeze in some helpful suggestions for the audience members, some of whom may be just starting out, and what kind of pitfalls to avoid when you're just beginning a workout regimen.
The most common thing that I see is someone may have a stroke of motivation or inspiration in their life. They're going to come out swinging. They're wanting to change their life, get stronger, lose some weight. That's a real common thing. So what they do is they come out and they set this really high goal of either losing weight or I'm going to work out every night. And that's crazy. You're going to set a pace that you're not going to be able to maintain at that point. I would say to try to set a realistic week, maybe to run 2 to 3 times, to run short distances, and maybe try to just start off, say, I'm going to run 1 mile. This is going to be your first workout. And try like heck to do that 1 mile and not stop. See where you're at. See how well you do with that. At some point, if you want to make it more challenging, you can grow your distance. You can run further. It's going to be exciting to keep, basically breaking your record to run further than you've ever ran. Also, you can start wearing a watch and timing these runs, and to kind of beat these goals, these time goals. That's going to take your running to a whole nother level, and you can also monitor your progress that way. But I would say, I guess, to summarize, to start off slow and to listen to your body and to really try to hit those goals.
All right. Awesome. Well, folks, that's all the time we have. I want to thank Campfire Talk for taking the time to be with us here. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this interview series, where we shall continue to delve into the topic of health and fitness. And folks, if you haven't already done so, you should check out Campfire Talk on YouTube, as well as all of his wonderful videos there. I'll be putting up a link in the description box. Please don't forget to subscribe. And once again, this is Analytical Survival saying, stay safe and healthy, my brothers and sisters.